final stage. The remaining competitors are pacing, anxious for the race to begin. Only a few minutes left. Who will win this big event?
Sonic, congratulations! I'll be over here cheering you on.
And now it's time for the final event. And it's set here in Sand Ruins. The rules are still the same. Anything goes in this extreme race. Although it needs no further explanation, the first one to reach the goal will win this race. But remember, the prize will be won by the racer who's performed the best throughout this competition.
Ha! You're lucky you got this far. It obviously wasn't due to your skills. I won't lose now.
Get ready! It's time for the final race to begin!
And welcome to part 4 of Sonic Riders, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're at the big, bad final race. This is the World Grand Prix Championship. And our remaining 4 contestants, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Jet, are all aiming to be the champion. Because we're playing the Babylon Rogue storyline first, we will see if Jet can become the champion of champions. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but the voice actors for the Babylon Rogues, Jason Griffith, who voices Sonic and Shadow, is also voicing Jet the Hawk. I'm sure you probably noticed because Jason Griffith has a kind of a distinct voice, and I'm sure many of you were like, wait, is Sonic talking or is Jet talking? I mean, there's a difference, but still, he's a lot more screechy. I'm Jet the Hawk! Nah! But, you know, Storm the Albatross is voiced by Dan Green, just like Knuckles is. And I know what you're thinking, oh, Tails' voice actor must be Wave's voice actor. No, Bella Hudson voices Wave the Swallow. Can't win them all. But this track is kind of friggin' annoying. I mean, there's a lots of hitting jumps, lots of hitting right into another jump, lots of hitting into a right another jump. You really got to take advantage of the drift feature in this game, where you basically hold R so you can make these little sharp, tight corners and stuff. But as you'll see on the right there, drifting actually wastes your air energy. So you don't want to drift too much because it does actually limit your character and what he can do. And this racetrack can take a lot of repeated retries, I find. It's one of the harder tracks in the game, if you want my honest opinion. But, yeah, that's really not much to say. It's a racing game. I mean, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. I now know what Brain Scratch comms were going on about when they were doing F-Zero GX. I mean, what's there to say? These characters race, they go in laps. I can't explain any new things about the characters and how they handle. Speed types, they hit rails. You boost with the boost button. You collect rings to level up. You want to do tricks when you hit ramps. You gotta hold the control stick in certain directions in order to reach certain ramp shortcuts, because that's how stupid the design is. Seriously, why is the design like that? I don't get that. I think this game is the best of the Sonic Riders series. I was kind of sweet and soft on Sonic Riders 2 back when I did my LP of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I even said as much. But I don't know, I've kind of warmed up to this game a little bit, even though I will actually say outright that number 2 is a better game for accessibility, you know? But anywho, in the Babylon storyline, Jet wins. But in Sonic's storyline, I have to defeat Jet! Is the storyline going to branch off into a different pathway, or is something completely drastically different going to happen? All I'll say is, you know when I said that Tails was going to fine-tune Sonic's board 100%, right? I hope you remembered that. He had to have looked at the board after the cutscene in which Wave placed something on his board, because that's when they happen chronologically. I hope Tails did something about that. Okay, just wanted to throw that out there. But again, in these races, you are Sonic and you are Jet, so you are limited to only the grinding shortcuts. In multiplayer, you can play through any of the tracks in story mode with any character that you want, and it's fun to do so because then you get to see how the power type characters would handle these situations or how the flying types would handle it. You know, that's assuming you're into the game. Because again, my thing about Sonic Riders is it's super fun once you're into it. Again, this is a game I think is pretty good in the dark age of Sonic. When you're into it, when you understand it, when you got the basics down and you understand how to play good. But until you get the basics down, if you are not good at Sonic Riders, if everything just sort of escapes you and you think it's really awkward to play, then of course you will absolutely not enjoy it. I mean, I love the cutscenes, but gameplay-wise, it's a mixed bag. You know, I know people hate this game. I know some people love this game. I don't know. The sequel, Zero Gravity, I did like more than the first game before, but this game's sort of grown on me the more I played it, and I kind of changed my mind on that. I think Riders is the best of the Rider series thus far, although I do say the sequel is still good, and it's a lot more accessible for casual gamers, but yeah. I love everyone's boost move. I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times during the LP, but certain characters actually yell at their opponents sometimes when they boost into them. Like, I love this little exaggerated, like, animation Knuckles gives people. Like, back in the Egg Factory level, I boosted into someone when I was level 1 as Knuckles, and he has, like, this big... His head, like, swells up, like, super giant, and then Knuckles looks like a goddamn angry dog or something. He just, like, barks at them, like, "Rah!" What are you doing? Get out of here! And that stuns them somehow. I love that. And every time they upgrade to a new level, they always get a new melee attack as well. Like Dr. Eggman, he starts off like hitting people. I think he like slaps him or something. Then he gets like a paper fan or something. Then he gets like a boxing. I don't know. Cutscene. Yeah, it just ends the race abruptly before you can reach the finish line. So how about that?
The dirt suits you so well. Ugh. This is Babylon Garden.
Now I'll get the treasure of Babylon!
Oh no!
get Eggman! I found you!
Wait, Sonic, use this!
What is it?
It's a new gear I prepped up just in case something like this happens.
Thinking ahead, Tails? Thanks! Jet! You can't catch up with him! Get out of my way! Is that what you think? Take a look at this! I'll show you what true speed really is!
Newsflash. A mysterious airborne object has just appeared above the site where the World Grand Prix is being held. Apparently, Sonic and his friends have gone to investigate. We'll try and get more details right after this important announcement.
Oh man, looks like we have company.
We gonna rumble? Targeting, attack.
Knuckles, now's not the time to fight!
Smart thinking. Let's get out of here. Forget the red mutt. Let's go, Storm!
Did she say red mutt? Why you?
Hey, Knuckles, wait for me!
So, yeah, they're running away from the pack of robots they could easily beat the shit out of, as they've done time and time again, because they're Sonic heroes! And for some reason now they're racing, I don't know why. But this is the last themed level in the story mode. There's actually 2 different themes. There's like 3 different races that you can play outside of story mode that aren't in story mode. There's like a Sega-themed level, and there's like, there's another racetrack for a particular theme we'll be seeing later, but we don't actually race it in story mode. I will be having an extra video to show off all these extra races, so don't worry, that will all be available. Plus, I gotta show you Dr. Eggman. I mean, Dr. Eggman's a playable character in this game, and he's so fucking badass. In fact, there's a lot of playable characters in this game. Shadow the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, Cream the Rabbit, the Egg Pawns, E10000 Green and E10000 Red. These are all playable characters you can play in the multiplayer, so even though they're not in the storyline, Shadow is indeed in the game, so if you're a Shadow fanboy and you're wondering, hey, is Shadow in this game? Yeah, Shadow's in this game. He's in the multiplayer only, though. He's not in the story mode. So now in this level we're playing as Wave the Swallow, again, flying type character. Yeah. The thing about this level is kind of annoying. Every now and then, when you pass through a lap, like the scenery will actually completely change. Like, I go through this area and like missiles will just bombard the bridge and it will blow holes on the bridge that I'm racing on, and it'll really catch you off guard, especially if you're in first place. If you're not in first place, it happens to the first place player, and generally you'll see that stuff coming, but if you're in first place and you come up to the bridge, missiles just start blowing the shit out of everything out of nowhere, and then you basically fall to your death. You go reduced back to level 1, no matter how many rings you collected, and it's really freaking annoying. What can I say? You gotta be really good at drifting. You cannot fall in bottomless pits. Falling in bottomless pits sucks. And because this is pretty much the last real race of the Babylon Rogue storyline, you gotta be pretty skilled at it. It's a pretty tricky race, what can I say? Again, I think the game's pretty damn fun. You have to move the control stick quite a bit, but when you know what you're doing, it's alright. But anywho, folks, that was Wave the Swallow kicking ass. And now we're going to be seeing the final confrontation between Sonic and Jet in Part 5, so stay tuned for that.